Okay.
Good evening, everyone. This is the Parks and Beautification Committee meeting. It's 7:33. I am the chair. My name is Miss Antoine. So I will call this meeting into order. Thank you all for making it through this April 2023. I'm so glad to have you here today because we have new members. I will ask you to go around and yourself and just tell us if you have any park or playground around where you live. So the question will be, you introduce yourself and just let us know if you live around any parks or any playground. My name is Miss Antoine again. I am the chair, and I live not too far from the railroad playground, which is on East 92nd. I will pass it to Mr. Ted. Can you please introduce yourself and let us know whether or not you live near a park or a playground? Mr. Ted.
Okay. Yeah, good evening, George Tate, board member and committee member.
Do you live near any park or any playground, Mr. Ted?
Yeah, yes, I do. Yes. Hold on a second. Because, let me go where it's a little quieter. Yes, I live in Palaga Park and the Giarantano playground. And then there's, I think it's the PS 198, have a little playground that they open when the school is closed.
Okay, thank you.
So basically, 3.
Oh, you live around 3.
Yeah.
So you said Podegate, which is the next one?
Yeah, Patagat Park,
Mhm.
Giarantano Playground, which is on East 45th from Park,
Mhm.
and then PS 198 and Albany and Park have a little playground that they open sometimes when the school is closed.
All right, thank you.
You
I will pass it on. I will pass it on now to Ricky Da Costa. Hi, you are muted.
Yes, how you doing, Ricky DaCosta? Sorry, Ricky DaCosta, committee member. My wife Bree DaCosta here as well. She's just on another call. Good evening, all.
Good evening. And I know that you live by Children Park, Children Playground.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. I will pass it on to Donovan Whiter. Did I pronounce the name right?
Hello, no problem. Donovan Witter here.
Okay.
I live on a church and near Bedford. I don't particularly live close to any parks or playgrounds. Kind of in walking distance of Prospect Park and Winthrop Park, but nothing particularly close, like a good 15, 20-minute walk.
Okay, thank you. I will pass it on to I know that Miss Yolanda Blecher is here. Miss Yolanda?
Hi, Yolanda Belcher here, committee member. I'm not really close to any parks, but I'm down the block from Brooklyn College, and they have areas within there that they allow people to congregate. So that's all I got.
Okay. Thank you. Did I miss anyone? I have it 347. The last number is 18. Can you please introduce yourself? The cell phone 347, last number 18.
Hi, Berlot. This is Linda Turner. That was 718, not 818. That's why I didn't answer it first. You know, every time we have a meeting, me and this WebEx have to arm wrestle.
Got it. So, can you please introduce yourself and let us know which park or playground is near you?
I'm sorry, you talking to me, Burlai?
Yes.
Okay, could you repeat what you said because I didn't hear you.
Okay. So I just asked everybody to introduce themselves and let us know which park or playground that they live by. If there is, any park or playground near you where you
Oh,
live.
okay, sure. Linda Turner, committee member, and I live across the street from Tilden Park or
Thank
Tilden
you.
Playground.
Yeah, thank you. I have Flatbush Cleanup. It- yeah, Flatbush Cleanup. Can you unmute yourself? For the record, I don't know who is Flatbush Cleanup. Can you please unmute yourself? Um, so we can come back to that person. If you can unmute yourself, then we can come back to you. Did I ask everybody to introduce themselves? Did I miss anyone? All right. If you have a chance to review the agenda, I will get to the agenda not now after my report. Hopefully we have quorum. Do we have quorum, Miss Bucky?
You have 9, yes.
Okay. So vote, we can go to the minute now. Um, if you have a chance to receive the minutes of the last meeting, um, if you did not receive the minutes of the last meeting, let us know. But I think that Miss Button sent that on time, so I'm sure that you received it. I will ask if there is anything. If not, I will ask for a motion to accept the minute of the last meeting, which was in March. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting?
Linda Turner here. I make a motion that we accept the minutes from the last meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Can I have someone to second?
I second the Yolanda Belcher seconds the motion.
Thank you, Ms. Yolanda. So moving on to the agenda, I have to give you a quick report. For between March and now, what I did as a chair, I participated in some meetings, among them meetings with the New York City for Parks, where we talk about what we'll do for Tilden Park. And I know that people from Tilden Park, they are here. They will be happy to know that, we are working on this project. I also went to a meeting at the 67th precinct where I followed up with a representative from a block association where the complaint that I received, number one, they have an issue where the post office mailbox have a lot of graffiti. So they would like to know if our committee can address this issue with on the graffiti on the mailbox, and I did a walkthrough on Clarendon and actually noticed that. I know it's a lot. I'm still talking with other stakeholders to see who I can talk to see if our committee can assist. But for now, I can't promise anything. However, I wanted to let you know what happened. Second thing, I received two complaints that our committee can address. One is for the lack of bathroom in our parks, or the time that the bathroom are closed or not accessible to the community. So that's one. The second complaint I received is that some of our parks, but they didn't give me the name of any parks, and then I will ask you if you know about this issue. People are complaining about disability accessibility. So meaning that some of the parks are not accessible to people with disability. So those are the things that I heard from people in the community, and I would like to pass it on to you, member of the community, to let me know if those issues need to be addressed, if you heard anything before I can move forward and see, who I can talk to for those issues. So those are three issues that people mentioned. One, bathroom issue. The second, accessibility for people with disability, and the third one is the poles and the mailbox that has graffiti. So I will pass it on to you. If you have any question for me, I can answer, or if you want to add on anything to that, I can answer.
Linda Turner here. Berlat, the bathroom in Tilden Park is open from the time the worker gets there until they leave, which is about 4. If these bathrooms aren't being made available, it's because of a failure on the part of the park worker. They're supposed to not only clean them, but open them up and close them up when they leave. So maybe you should talk to Danielle.
Okay. So for I didn't they didn't mention any name for the park. So I don't know which park specifically that they are complaining about. So my question to you, um, will you say that Children Park also has the issue with the bathroom?
Oh, no, we don't,
Oh, okay,
because
okay,
our park worker opens it when she reports for duty and closes it at the end of her shift.
okay, great. So
And
there is
that's
no
what these
issue.
other people should be doing. If the park has a park worker, it's part of that person's responsibility to not only clean the bathroom, but open it up to make it accessible and to lock it when they leave.
Oh,
That's what
thank
I'm
you,
saying.
thank you.
Ms.
Any
Anderson?
comment on this issue? Yes, Mr. Ted.
Yes, I may add that let's keep in mind that the park department, they have a specific time when they open and they close the bathrooms in the winter, and then one for the spring and summer. So it's not like it's going to stay open until 9 o'clock at night.
Right.
Um, yes, there's a specific time that they close. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but if you go on the website, you could see it, and I probably have the information somewhere that this issue came up before regarding the time. But yes, there's a specific time that they have to close in the winter, and then another one for the summer. Yeah.
What
I'll
I
try
hear you
to.
saying,
I,
what I hear you saying is like we now need to find out the time and then making sure that they actually follow the time before we can advocate, right?
exactly, exactly. Because if it is that they're asking for something to be open until 9 o'clock at night, I mean, this is hypothetical. Okay, as
Okay.
an example,
Yeah.
that's not going to happen because they're going to tell us they have to close by a certain time. But unless it's a specific event that's happening. But
So what I can, sorry, what I
mm,
can ask everyone to do, if possible, if you live near a park, and you can just double check and make a note. Like let's say that they have a sign, or that they are supposed to close at 5 p.m., for example, and you stop by and you see that it's closed by 3, just make a note, because we are taking, when people are asking us to do certain things, I count on you to help me to figure out what is the actual issue. So this is something that we can
Well,
do.
that,
Just
that
check.
Berlot,
Yes.
that's a good idea that the bathroom hours should be posted. Maybe that's
yeah,
something that we could do,
yeah,
post the hours
Yes.
of the bathroom once we identify the time. So
So,
at least people would know.
Okay.
this is Ricky DeCosta. Just an FYI, in regards to Tilden, I've actually never seen the bathroom open. My kids and I have been there quite frequently since the weather's been a little warmer, and I don't know what the protocol is, but I know in other parks it's open at 9 and generally closed by 4. So I'm just curious to know what the protocol is over at Tilden, but I haven't seen it.
Okay. So I'm
Well, that
glad
could
that you
be because we've had a change of park worker. Because when Phyllis was there, she'd opened it up, cleaned it, and then opened it up after when she started her shift. But we have someone else there now, so maybe there is a difference.
Okay, so we need to look into that because if we are receiving a lot of complaint, meaning that there is an issue actually. So we need to check. Tilden is one. Anybody else want to add something? Because people are actually complaining to me, and I would like to have a sense of what is the issue. And now I have something like we need to make sure that the time are posted. And I will meet with the park manager for Tilden in the coming days. So maybe this is something that I can vote on for Tilden. Anybody else want to add something?
Well, I'm not close to, but I know Amersfoort Park is not far from me on Avenue I. And I pass there often, and they really don't maintain it very well. So that's an issue, and it's a large space, and it could be good for the kids, to have activities, to do. So what I'll do is I'll go around and take some pictures, and then I'll send them to Verlot and let her make a decision about it. Okay?
Okay, great. So when you mention
Yeah,
maintenance, are you talking about, life of lack of paper towel, paper, toilet paper, or can you describe the maintenance you're mentioning?
Well, it's just open space. Weeding, cutting down trees, grass, sweeping the sidewalk areas, you know, um, overgrown, just a regular maintenance, I don't think that they do it on a schedule, they do it haphazardly because, sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. And it's apparently with the city, you got to tell them that they're doing bad for them to do something about it. So it's good that we're working to make sure that we tell them when they're doing bad so they can clean up their act.
All right. So I can look into that because I think that's an issue that is urgent. So if you are out there and you would like to, use the bathroom and you can't, that's a very that's a big issue, I will say. I see Mr. Ted. Go ahead.
yes. I just want to let you know that I'm, I agree with Ms. Belcher regarding the situation at Amersfoort Park. I frequented around it too. However, that's not within our jurisdiction. That's in CB 18. Okay,
Oh,
Amersfoort Park is actually in the Community Board 18.
okay. Okay.
So yeah, so maybe we could work.
Oh,
We could send the recommendation to the Community Board 18, but it's not something that you have jurisdiction over. So,
okay. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you that
yeah.
you said that. Any other comment that I can address because I am taking notes and I hope that we can do something about it. But we need to have a list of places where I can say here is the issue. So anybody else? Miss Hudson? Yes, go ahead.
Good afternoon. Sorry, I was a little bit late in joining, so I'm not sure exactly what was said. But I wanted to raise the issue of Ditmas Park because the last time we had a meeting, I think there was a Mr. Ferguson who said he wanted us to assist in some way with that park.
What's the
Mm.
issue with this Ditmas part? Just tell us.
Oh, I'm not sure because I'm not familiar with the park, but and he had said he wanted to have an activity sometime in May or June or in the summer for the kids, and then he wanted our assistance to help to get the park in shape
Parking
so I
permit, you said?
suppose it would be the same thing as all the other parks. Because when we went to the meeting, it was said that the maintenance of the park is partly the community's responsibility. Did you remember that, Miss? What's her name, Miss? Cam Lee, she had indicated to us that the community should take an active part in maintaining the parks because the actual park personnel,
Oh, you talk about Miss Chamberlain? She will come from New York City for park. She will soon be coming, and
yeah,
maybe we can raise that question again. She will be there, very soon. Yeah.
okay, all right. So I just
And
wondered if you had followed up with Mr. Ferguson about that activity that was
not yet.
not as yet. Okay.
In the meantime, if you know of any issue, because we are still talking about the bathroom issues that people, mentioned to me, if you know of any parks near you, like in CB17, with this issue of, you know, lack of proper maintenance for the bathroom, it's a good time to say it because this is for part of my report, and a lot of people are complaining about that. So I wanted to know if, we can take that, upon us to kind of do something about it because a lot of people are complaining about that. If you know
Okay,
of
I'm not sure. Well, just to add on to that, I'm not sure. Is Prospect Park is the what is it? The fairground? What is the that on Keaton, is that in our area? That
I am
part of
not
the park?
sure because I am still learning, how big is, the park that I'm covering. But if
Yeah.
you put it in my list, I can double check. So you
Okay.
mean Prospect
Well, I
Park
know
by
that
Cape?
park sometimes has problems with the bathroom being
Okay, so it's
maintained.
Prospect Park. You said Prospect Park by Caton?
Yes, the one by the section by Keaton. Yes.
Okay, so I can say, yeah, so I will follow up and make sure, and find out whether or not it's part of our CB17 park. Yeah.
Miss
Okay.
Antoine?
Yes.
No, it's not. It's part of Board 14.
14. Thank you so much. Thank you for, yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
because I'm still learning. Okay, thank you.
All
Before
right.
moving further, for my report, there is two things that I didn't say, but I can add because I saw Mr. Ted put it on the in the chat. I also sent a flyer for composting. I think that you received it. If you did not receive it, I can send it to you because Mr. Ted was, sharing this information for people who wanted to do composting and the steps that people can take to follow up on that matter. If there is no question for or no comment for the issue with the bathroom, what I can say, I can follow up on that issue. And what I can ask you to do, if you can take pictures or look at the time, if there is no time posted, may at least we can work on on the signs to make sure that signs are being posted and the maintenance and those things. So if you can do that by the next meeting, you can keep sending me emails and pictures and information. That will be great. So when I'm meeting with someone, I can say exactly what it is. I can present your complaint. All right. So if there is nothing, no question, I can move to the next item on the agenda. Um, Simone Sylvester, I can see your comment on the chat. Thank you. Do you still have audio issues? You can type on the chat. If you have audio issues and you want to say anything, put a comment, you can put it on the chat. Yeah, okay, thank you. It's time now to move to, yes, Mr. Tate, you want to add
Yes,
something?
I just found the email regarding the bathroom opening.
Yes.
Okay, it says the Memorial Day, like let me see, Memorial Day until Labor Day. It would be open 6:30 until 6:30, and after that it closes at 5:30.
Okay, so
The stations that I
okay.
received that from Miss Goldfarb, Daniel Goldfarb,
Mhm.
last year when we questioned that. So in other words, the excuse me, from Memorial Day until Labor Day, it's open from 8 a.m. until 6:30 p.m. Okay,
Okay, so
and
now,
with the exception, they may be closing it if it's a special event with a permit going on at the particular site. But
So
in
with that,
general, mhm,
I would say that with that, we can now, if there is something clearly that said that there is two action we need to do. Number one, if it's is it posted, at the different places? If there is a sign that said that, as Mr. De Costa just mentioned,
yeah,
for Children Park, for example, he didn't, his children couldn't use it. So if
yeah,
there is if there is something that said open until 6, and the park is not open until 6, now we have a problem.
yeah,
So that's
6:30.
yeah. If something said 6:30 and then it posted 6:30 and you actually go there and it's closed, now we have an action to do. Because on the internet is one, but actually going there and not being able to use it is something that we need to look at.
Now, Verla, to your point, and George, thank you for that. It's
You're
Rick,
welcome.
and um, I'm just sure if somebody's there at the park working, why isn't the bathroom open? I can understand if nobody was there at the park working. I'm assuming somebody's there that's supposed to kind of oversee the park. So if somebody's there, I don't understand why it's open. Because the other day when we were there, my youngest daughter had to use the bathroom. We thought it was open, and we had to rush home. Luckily, we live close. But for other people or parents who may not have that access to getting home quickly, as kids, it's a different story. I just don't understand if somebody's supposed to be there operating the park while the bathroom.
Yes, I think that's a
Yeah,
good point. I also have New York City for parks. Miss Chamberlain is on the line. Maybe we can talk about that, and then she can guide me to see how we can probably address this issue, especially for Children Park, because we are working with for the beautification of Children Park. I think those little issues at Children Park we should be able also to address them. Um, any more question on that before we move forward? So we have some tasks to do for the bathroom specifically. Sign will be something, and making sure that they follow the time that they said that the bathroom is open. That's something that we need to do. No more. Oh, you said again. Yeah, you're the
yeah,
last one on that topic. Yeah.
yeah. No, I think Ricky has a valid complaint there. Because if he went there, if he was there, if it's in the winter and it's before 5:30 that he was there and the bathroom was closed, then that's a valid complaint that really needs to be addressed and let them know. Because whether from what I'm seeing, whether or not they have a worker there, they say they're gonna be open till 5:30. They should be open till 5:30.
So we have this.
And in the summer till 6:30.
So the summer is coming. I think it's a good timing for us in the community to start to try to see if we can do something about it. Because we don't want to be walking on the street. We want to use the bathroom. We are in the park. We try to, use it and it's closed. And this had happened to me, not in CB17, but other in other areas. Yes. Okay. Now let's move to unfinished business. That was a new business, but because it was part of my report, we had to discuss it. For the unfinished business, we had on Friday of last week, we had a training, a community leader training, where representative from New York City for Parks, Miss Chamberlain, who is here with us tonight, did a training. This training was a kickoff for the beautification of Children Park, Children Playground, where the people who wanted that training came and asked question, and I was like the first, like the kickoff for Children Park Playground. So what it is basically is people learn. It was not a long training, but the basic of planting or taking care of children playground. It was like a short training, but very important for us as the first step, because we are now ready to do something at Children Park Playground. I always call it park and playground. So the next step after the training is we have an RSVP date. We need a second date from you, but we have one date, which is May 6th. By then, we should do the painting project. So with children playground, we have two P. It's the painting and planting. So we will start with the painting project, where everything is ready for volunteers to paint. Um, for the coming week, I will do a second walkthrough with the park manager and people from New York City for parks, so we can finalize the areas and take pictures again, um, for the painting. And for people who participated at the last meeting, and I think Ms. Da Costa was part of this meeting, where we kind of talk about the fences, where that need to be painted. So that's one project, and then the planting is the next. Um, I will pass it on to Ms. Chambly from Partnerships for Parks, who is here with us now. She will also walk us through the next step for Tilden Park. And the goal for Tilden Park is we will start with Tilden Park because we started with children, we did a walkthrough and all of that. And then we will replicate that project to other parks. So your job will be after Tilden Park, you will let us know which park will need the same type of project that we will do at Tilden, and then we will do that for different parks in our community. Let's make it, our community, we need to have that a little bit better, but we need to start somewhere. I will pass it on to Ms. Chambly. I know that she will provide us with more update on the next step on this project. Ms. Chambly, you are still muted.
Sure. All right. Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Carly. I'm with Partnerships for Parks. Burlette did a great job of explaining the process of what we're working through with getting Community Board 17 as a community partner with Partnerships for Parks. So yes, we have been looking at Tilden Playground as a priority site for volunteering. We do have a site visit this week. Generally what happens before projects is that the park manager and sometimes the horticulture manager will come on site and just assess the space, see what the needs are. I know me and Burlette had done that independently back in the fall, but this will just be the next step in, confirming the project. So right now we are looking at a painting project, mostly because planting projects can sometimes take a while longer, especially this time of year, in order to acquire plants, get everything approved through the Parks Department. But that is another goal that we have in mind, is, as was mentioned, to have a separate planting project later on in the late spring or summer. So right now our potential date is May 6th, so that's on a Saturday. So we are trying to get some volunteers who would be interested in attending this project, stewarding the playground. I know there are some rusted fences as well as some poles and playground equipment. As far as supplies, so that is a benefit of being a partner with us, is that we would coordinate all of the supply needs. So nothing would really be coming out of pocket from the community groups. So that's something I'm very much looking forward to. Again, we have that site visit this Thursday with the horticulture manager. He's also going to be looking at some of the open green spaces within the park to see what could possibly be planted in the late spring. And then we will also be going to the Green Street area on Ralph and Church. I know that was a spot that had been brought up by, members of the community for, finding ways to tend to that area, maybe have some plantings and maintain it. So that will also be brought up in this site visit to see if that's something that could be feasible and what the timeline would be like. So I will be reporting back to Burlette at the end of the week. But in the meantime, if you are available and interested on May 6th, we're going to be putting in the application for the Tilden Playground project. And I have some flyers that I can also give out to anyone who's interested after we go through that application process. So Berlat, if you need me to speak towards anything else, I'm happy to, but those are really just the next steps in terms of, different park projects for, District 17, is Tilden Playground and hopefully the Green Street later on. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Chamblay. Before you came, someone was talking about the bathroom at Tilden Park, and as we are talking about the beautification of Tilden Park during the walkthrough, if you could, I hope that I can make it on this week for the walkthrough. But I would like also, while we are there, to look at the bathroom and see if it's open and if there is any issue, because someone just mentioned that they were not able to use the bathroom during regular time during the day. So during the walkthrough, if possible, we can just see if there is an issue with the bathroom, because we will be there.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. And I know I was on the call just a little bit earlier. Was it George? I think you have a question. Was that regarding the bathroom? And I may can assist with trying to figure out why it's been closed.
No, my question, I was just going to ask you, thanks for the presentation, but I want, if you could repeat, because I don't remember hearing the time for the May 6th, you said was the thing. What time will this project take place? At what time of the day? For Tilden Park on May 6th, I think you said?
Yes, so that is still to be determined. So I'm going to be
Oh.
talking with Berlat in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Usually, for weekend projects, we may do like a 11 to 1 or, 1 to 3. So that's something to, if any of you have any preferences, feel free to reach out to me or Berlat. Because we can always adjust the time as needed, because this is going to be, it's a new project for the group. It's kind of a smaller space, so there won't be really any other time conflicts on that day for the park. So that's really up to the community, at least for this project, as long as we can try to nail that down, I'd say in the next week or so. But regarding the bathroom, that's something I'll also talk to Danielle or John Quincy about. I know someone had mentioned winterization, but at this point, most of the bathrooms should be open. I know there are some bathrooms that do close at relatively early times, and that may have to do with staffing capacity, or sometimes there are, plumbing needs, electricity needs. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the Tilden restroom, but I can check on that tomorrow and talk to Danielle about it.
Any questions for Ms. Chamblay while she's here? Or any question about the painting project for Tilden?
No, I just want to say that you contact me as a volunteer for the project at Tilden and the Nation. Whenever you have.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. I'm going to put my email and my phone number in the chat as well for anyone who would like to reach out. Thanks.
Question, I'm taking question. I think the bathroom issue was mentioned too by Regina Costa. I don't know if you want to say something, if you want to add anything.
No, I think it's pretty straightforward.
Okay, thank you. All right. And if there is if anybody wants to volunteer for Children Park for the project, let us know, because we will have other volunteers. However, I would like members of this committee to be part of the volunteer group for this project. Remember, if this project is successful, we can do that in other parks in our community. So Children will be the first one, but we will work on that. If this is successful, we can do that with somewhere else. Ms. Childe, I don't know if you want to say something about the pilot project as children being the pilot, and then we move that forward with the parks. I don't know if you want to comment on that. There's some noise somewhere.
Yeah, Bella, I'm sorry. You
Yeah, I
just
think
mentioned Tilden Playground as being the pilot project.
yes. I know
Okay.
that you said children some parks will work with us as children being the pilot, and then other parks will we can duplicate that somewhere else. I don't know if you want to comment about that now for the members to know how can they be involved if they miss children park, what else they can do.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, I know, Tilden Playground will be the priority, at least for this group, for the next few months. And, the goal is to start to lead independent projects, so, and frequent projects. So I know for the first couple of events that we'll have at Tilden, I will be assisting and helping coordinate, especially with the painting needs and, just orienting volunteers. But that's something, as the capacity hopefully grows with the volunteers and the experience that they have, then we can be kind of working towards reaching other areas in the district. And also connecting with some of the existing community partners. I know, unfortunately, there aren't as many in District 17, so I'm glad that, we are trying to kind of make this happen from the ground up, and hopefully, inspire some other groups to get more involved. So that's really all I was going to add to that. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, thank you so much. Any more questions before we move to the next item on the agenda?
Hi, Berlot. This is Bree DaCosta. I have a question about the volunteer project. What's the earliest that we could start that project? In terms of time of day.
Yeah, sure. It really depends, if the park manager approves the time. I know some groups tend to come out pretty early. I work with one group who comes out at 7 a.m. On weekends. I know generally groups need to be out of the park when they're doing cleanups by 7 p.m. So that would be the latest time. But early, I think it's really just up to the group in terms of what's most convenient. Because all of the tools, we can try to arrange that the day before, if the event is going to be early. What I do recommend, a lot of groups will start their projects at around 10 a.m., like on Saturdays, so that generally provides enough time for the districts to be dropping off the tools that morning and then, collecting them after the event, during their, normal shift hours. So I'd say that is usually recommended around 10 to 12 or 11 to 1.
All right, thank you. So let's move on to the Green Space Project. We also at the last meeting, I told you that I will follow up for Church Avenue and Ralph Avenue corner. There is a green space that committee members wanted us to do a project that there too. I had a meeting with Mr. Lee as well for this project, and it's easy, not that easy. So there is a lot into that. We will also do a workshop for that project to see if we can make that happen. However, that will not happen for May 6th. It will be another time. But it's more than it's not that easy. I don't know if you want to report on that as well. Like the step that people can take for the Ralph Avenue and Green and Ralph Avenue and Church Avenue green space in terms of volunteers.
Okay, yeah, I would just say the same messaging as, Tilden Playground. And like you mentioned, this may be kind of a longer term project or something that, may be approved later on in the year. I know there are some more considerations, especially when working in green streets, like water access, for example, or, how much sun or shade that the area provides. A lot of groups who do tend to green streets, it's more so just for general maintenance, like cleaning up the area with, grabbers and bags maybe once a month. If the area is deemed as being suitable for plantings, and that's something, we would cross that bridge when we come to it. So that would most likely be a type of summer projects that would require a bit more approval. But again, it's really up to the group and their capacity and what they can commit. If they're able to maybe come out monthly and just do a quick cleanup, that's something that, wouldn't take as many logistics, to approve. But again, on Thursday, talking to the horticulture manager at the Green Street on Ralph and Church, he can be providing that kind of insight. And then I would be really relaying that back to you all.
Thank you so much. It was very helpful. So now we have a lot to do for beautification. It's a lot of tasks that we have to do. Let's move on now. If you have other question, we can take that after. But I wanted to move on to some other items on the agenda. We had the graffiti removal. That was a beautiful event. Graffiti happened on, it was this Saturday, last Saturday, April 1st. We cover some businesses' doors where we took off graffitis at their door. It was a beautiful event, and we had a lot of people asking for it again. Unfortunately, this is not something that we can keep doing, but a lot of people, they wanted to sign up for the next graffiti. For everybody who email or call to provide information or advice, I say thank you, because our committee is not only when you are physically present that you are part of it. You can even be remote or emailing or calling. All of that counts. So for any event, if you can be physically present, that's fine. But if for some reason you can be present, always, answer the emails, phone calls, all of that count. Thank you for everyone who provided their contribution for the graffiti removal. With the NYPD and council member Farah Lewis and elite learners, we make it happen. Thank you so much for your assistance. So for anybody who took the training for the plant poisoning training, I sent all the certificates. I don't know if you received your certificate. However, all the certificate was sent. So I am showing you the certificate that I have. In case you don't see your name, you can let me know and we can make sure that you have your certificate. So I don't know if you can see the screen. Give me a thumbs up if you can see the screen.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so this is this is your TED certificate right now. So if you didn't get your certificate of participation, please let me know and I can make sure that you have your certificate. Did you all receive my email with your certificate of participation?
Thank you. I did, George.
Whoever didn't receive it, I can still find a way for you to receive it. Thank you. And also there are some materials in the email that you received. If you want to print the materials to, know that everything about plant poisoning, please feel free to do so. If you need me to do a printing and bring that to you at the general board meeting, let me know, because not everybody have access to a printer. You might need some, printed materials. Please let me know. Anybody with any question before I move to the next item? Because I know that time is moving. We don't want to stay too long. All right. For the June event, at the last meeting, I mentioned that we will partner for a Father's Day event for June. This is not finalized yet, so I can't tell you whether or not we will have it. So stay tuned for now because I didn't finalize anything for the June 18th Father's Day event. So I can't tell you whether or not this event will happen. So if we finally decide that this will happen, I will let you know ahead of time. But for now, there is no plan for this event for now.
I'm so, excuse me.
Yes.
Was
Yes.
the event related to the Ditmas Park? Is
Not
that
this
it?
month. No, it was for the railroad playground, which is on East 92nd by, I think, Avenue D.
Oh, okay.
It's Avenue
All right,
D
thank you.
or Avenue B or something. Yes, it's a railroad.
Okay.
But it was like another organization reached out to us and wanted to know if we can partner and support. However, until now, I am still unclear whether or not our community will partner. So I will get back to you, but for now, it's not a planned event for now in our calendar. I saw Miss Anne. Yes, someone raised up their hand. Okay. Can we move on? No question. Can I move on? All right. So now let's move on to our major event for 2023, which is the healthy eating and healthy cooking event. That's one of the events that was on my agenda when I was appointed. So this event will happen in August of no 19th of August. The permit is was put Miss Button submitted the permit, so that's pretty sure that we'll have that event on August 19th. What I would like from the community members, everybody will have to provide at least two agencies, minimum two, that you think we can reach out to. The goal of this event is for organization who can provide healthy eating presentation and healthy cooking. It's not like we are against candy and everything. However, this event is for any agency who can table and provide information on healthy eating and healthy cooking. So what I would love for my committee members, if you know of any agency, it can be an hospital that you think maybe can provide, information about diabetes, information about, green, fruits, information about those things. This is what we want. So we want to have a space where people in our community can learn how to eat healthy on a small budget. Or any question regarding the next event? I know that I was muted for a while. Yes. Let me repeat what I was saying. I know that I was muted for a while. We are planning our event for August 19th, which will be in Portergate Park. The event is healthy eating, healthy cooking. So everybody who is presenting on August 19th need to present something that the community could benefit from. It can be something about, what you can eat to prevent, I don't know, any type of illness, things like that. So what I would love from the committee members is for you to give me at least the name or, of at least two agencies or two hospitals or two nonprofits that I can contact on top of the list that I have to make sure that those people can be at our event. So I am taking comments now. What do you think? What agency do you think that we can invite? I see Miss Ann Hudson. Yes. Go ahead. Yeah, Miss Hudson, you can unmute yourself.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I raised my hand in error. I can't think of any organizations or agencies at present, but I certainly will follow up because this seems to be a very worthwhile activity venture. So I'll follow up. Sorry about that. I'm going to take my hand down.
Thank you. Anybody else? You don't have to have a list right now. However, if you can think of any agency that we can reach out to, please let us know. If you think about something right now, if you have children and you think that, oh, I would love my son or daughter to learn how to cook certain type of food, I know that agency who can demonstrate how to do it. Please let us know, because this is what we are trying to do in our community for that, for that event. That's the goal.
Burlock,
question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You sure? I'm sorry because I'm over the phone, so I can't see it.
Yeah, that's okay.
Sure
Go ahead. Yep, that's
Okay.
fine.
Okay, Burlock, I have two questions about that. This is Jadiva, by the way. Does the agency have to be like within our community, or they can be anywhere? I don't know if you said it before, but I couldn't hear you if you did say it.
It's not important that they are, precisely in our community. For example, I will be inviting the Department of Health, so they are not in our community. So it's not that important. However, they need to support healthy eating and healthy cooking, but they don't have to be within
Okay.
our. So if this is someone who was selling junk food, we will not accept that. That's a requirement that we have.
Okay.
Yeah. So if
And
someone is
the
coming
second,
and their face are in the, if their face in our community is like a face of someone selling junk food, we will not accept them. That's the only requirement.
I don't know if that's you, but I can't hear you too well. But I think I made out what you were going to say. And the second question I had was, if it's because I know that obviously East Flatbush is a predominantly Caribbean neighborhood. Let's say there's a Caribbean, let's say a vegan Caribbean restaurant. I mean, they're not an agency, but would you want somebody like that, like a vegan chef, to come?
I put a note for that. I was more thinking about non-profit, but because you said that now, I put a note for that. So, by restaurant, you're talking about, established restaurant in our community. If I want to invite them, I will put a note for that, and I will, speak to the district manager and the chair and see what they think about it. I was thinking about that, but now that you mentioned that, that's something that I can look into. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
More comments?
Hi, Burlock. This is Bree DeCosta. I have a question about the event and whether or not you'd be open to allowing people to speak on like healthy eating that aren't necessarily certified. Does a person need to have certifications? Do they need to be a nutritionist? Like, what kind of qualifications would you be, looking for in order to have a person speak about healthy eating?
If they don't have a certification, the second question is, will that be someone from an established agency? Because we want someone to be like a reputable, entity to be able to speak, because we don't want false information to be seen. So if someone has no certification per se, but that person is, presenting a certified organization, that's something different. Because an organization can be selling potato chips, for example, or not. Let's say an organization is selling, carrot, but the person will be speaking on behalf of this organization is not a nutritionist, but can speak about the services provided by that agency. That will be acceptable. Because it's talking about the services and why you should, reach out to this agency. That's acceptable. But we don't want, someone to speak, okay? not knowledgeable about their topics. That's what we don't want.
Which I completely
Linda,
understand. One other question I had, I'm sorry, before Ms. Turner speaks,
okay.
I just wanted to know if there, like, would you be open to business owners who, like, there's a business that we patronize in the neighborhood, and he, you know, sells a lot of healthy foods, fruits, vegetables, organic, fruits and vegetables. He also has supplements and things like that. Would you be willing to invite business owners in the area who are promoting, you know, healthy eating and healthy living, and have, you know, a store that people in the neighborhood can check out if they are looking for healthy food and things like that that they haven't been able to find or they didn't know existed in the neighborhood?
I think City 17, you know, work with business owners because we have an event today where we have, you know, a business networking event. So I don't think that it will be against, you know, our policy to bring business owners. It's just like when we have the list of, you know, business owners, we'll see, you know, who are not, you know, selling junk food that we want to invite. It's not against, you know, our thing to invite business owners if they are doing great job in our community. I don't think that, you know, I'm against that. No, I'm open to that. So if you have names that you want to recommend, and then from that list, you know, we'll see, we'll do a walkthrough and see, you know, whether or not we can invite them. But I don't think that is a bad idea to invite business owners who are doing great things, especially, you know, healthy, who are selling healthy, you know, food in our community. I'm not against it at all. But again, I will, you know, the chair for final approval, but I'm not against it personally.
Okay, Berlat, this is Linda Turner. What I was thinking was, I don't know her, but I know of her. And Mercedes Narcisse is, besides being our district leader, she's also a registered nurse. And I think that she could speak to what happens and the diseases that you're opening yourself up to if you don't eat healthy. So she would be able to talk about that in terms of diabetes, kidney disease, high blood pressure, things that plague the Black community. You might want to reach out to her and see if she would be available.
All right, we'll do. She will be invited. Definitely. Thank you so much. Yes.
Okay.
And I also will invite Kings County Hospital. So I don't know someone personally, but I know the team. So I will be inviting, you know, and I will invite them as well. So if someone has a direct connection, let us know because I will invite Kings County Hospital as well.
Okay.
I see a hand that Mr. Ted. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to back up what Ms. Turner just mentioned about Councilmember Narcisse. Yes, she would be a great choice and a source of information because she does different presentations in her office. Actually, last year she did a health fair at South Shore High School, which had different agencies. So she might be a good source for you to contact. And yes, I have been to a couple of our presentations, one regarding diabetes, and it was a good presentation. So I highly recommend it.
Thank you, Mr. Ted. Anyone else want to add something? Anyone else? If I'm still taking recommendation, whatever you think, whoever you think I can contact, I'm still taking notes. Or if you don't have anything yet, anything to say today, you can still email me between now and the next meeting. Going once, going twice. I'm still taking ideas. Between now and the next meeting, you can still, if you think about something, anything, do not hesitate to just just call me or just send an email and indicate, I have this agency. Do you want to put that on the list? Now, this is your time, committee members. We only have 5 more minutes. If there is anything I didn't cover that you want to cover, please raise your hand and I will let you speak. Just This is just for committee members report. If you have to report on anything, we are all the way to the number 6 of the agenda. If you have to report on anything, just do it now. Mr. Ted?
And I'm sorry for hogging the meeting, but there's a couple of things I wanted to bring up. But before I do have a, oh, is she still here, Miss, oh, she left. The one from the Partnership for the Parks. But I'll talk to you, I'm sorry, regarding what my question was. Yeah, so number one, I just want to emphasize, you mentioned the thing about the compost or the collecting at Newkirk and Nostrand. And it's very important that we go there and, like all the like scraps, anything out of the meat and so forth. Well, you see it from the fly. But they started last 2 weeks ago. They started, and they are not getting the reception that I would like to see, because this is something very important, and I don't want them to think that East Flatbush is not it's not interested in the composting, because Brooklyn as a whole will start composting, collecting compost October 3rd of this year. But between now and then, if we have anything, the closest place to drop off is right over there in Northern and Newkirk. They're there every Wednesday from 9:30 until I believe it's 3 o'clock. But the first day I got there like around 10:30, and I was the first one there. Last week I went there at about 12:30, and I was the fourth person. So it's if you all have anything, it doesn't have to be a lot, but just to show a little that we are interested. If you could just drop something so they could have the numbers. They're not saying like, oh well, we're here all day and only 4 people show up. So that would be something that would be interested, because it does help with the fertilization of the city. Okay, and my other thing is, it was a question in that I am happy to see that the Parks Department is planting trees all over the neighborhood. They actually open, like as a matter of fact, on my block, and I see Troy Avenue, in the whole area. They are cutting the sidewalk because they're going to be planting trees. I'm glad that they're finally doing it. However, I do have a little concern with that in that they do not announce when they're going to do it, or when they're going to block off the block. Because yesterday I went to move my car to the right side of today, when I see cones all over the place. This is like 10 o'clock in the morning. And then even the cars that were parked on the right side for yesterday, they had a sign saying no parking from 9 in the morning to 6 p.m. Our alternate side ends at 10 o'clock. So they come that morning and they put those cones all over the place, and without making any announcement. I called Community Board 17. Miss Fletcher wasn't in, but I could not. They had no information as to what was happening. Later on, when I saw someone on 42nd Street, is when the guy told us that they're going to be cutting to plant the trees. But they just put cones, no parking, 6 to six to 9 to 6 yesterday and today, and your call will be you're subject to tow away or something like that with no explanation. So a lot of people was wondering what was going on. So I don't know if just want to know that if community board receive any information regarding these things, please they need to disseminate it to the community because like we need to know these things to prepare.
So not on my I don't have any information. I can ask the district manager if we
Yes,
ever receive, some type of notice for that. But I don't, I can double check with her. On my hand,
yes,
no, but I can ask.
yeah, because they're supposed to give us some advance notice. And if there is anything to see this 17, it's something that we need to discuss with the community department of power.
The
Thank
time is
you.
the time is killing us. It's 8:42. I know that I have two new members, but I know maybe one left. I have one here. I wanted to ask Miss Sylvester if you want to say something right now. I know that you had audio issue before, but I texted you on the chat. Can you speak now? Just like if you need to add anything. No? So if no one, I will ask if anyone has anything to say because it's 8:43 and I want to end the meeting. No one has if you have nothing to add right now, I will ask for a motion to end this meeting, to adjourn the meeting. If there is no comment, no question, I will adjourn the meeting.
I, George Dave, make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:43 p.m.
Yes, thank you. So the meeting is officially adjourned. It's 8:43. I will hope to get some emails from you or with pictures and all of those things, and I will keep you posted before the next meeting. For now, the meeting is officially adjourned.
Okay,
Miss
good night. Have a
Angela,
blessed evening,
Yes.
everyone.
Okay,
who
Good
bye-bye.
evening,
second the
everybody.
motion?
Oh,
Second the motion.
Great question. I need someone to second the motion to adjourn the meeting.
oh,
A second. And Hudson?
second.
Ann Hudson?
Yes, second.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You
Have a
too.
good night, everyone.
You
Bye-bye.
too.
Good
Yes,
night.
you
Okay,
too.
bye-bye.
Bye.
I have a question for you, Miss Barton, before you go.
Sure.
To save. Okay, I'm good. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
This person never came back on.